I smiled while my dying husband proudly announced that all 6 of our houses would go to the woman he had secretly loved for the last 10 years. Everyone in the hospital room expected me to cry, beg, or lose my temper. Instead, I looked him straight in the eyes and calmly said there was one truth I had never told him. Within moments, his confidence vanished. His mistress realized she had won nothing, and the truth became the last thing my husband ever heard. My name is Claire, and after 32 years of marriage, I learned that betrayal does not always come with warning signs. Sometimes it hides behind ordinary conversations, fake smiles, and shared dinners. Mason and I married young with almost nothing. We dreamed of building a comfortable future together, but from the very beginning, we looked at life differently. I believed in working hard, saving money, and planning for tomorrow. Mason believed life was meant to be enjoyed today, leaving tomorrow to take care of itself. Before our wedding, my grandparents left me a protected trust. At the time, I barely understood how valuable it would become because I truly believed our marriage would last forever. As the years passed, I built a successful career in commercial real estate, worked countless late nights, and invested every extra dollar wisely. Between my trust and my income, I purchased 6 rental homes over 3 decades. Every mortgage payment, tax bill, insurance premium, renovation, and repair came directly from my separate accounts. Mason never invested a single dollar into any of those properties, yet he enjoyed every benefit they provided. To everyone around us, we looked like the perfect couple. Friends believed we had built our wealth together, and even Mason believed every property belonged equally to both of us. He never questioned where the money came from because he assumed marriage automatically made everything ours. That careless assumption would eventually destroy him. 10 years before everything fell apart, I accidentally uncovered his affair. While organizing financial records, I noticed unexplained withdrawals, expensive dinners, hotel charges, and money transfers to a woman named Brooke. I could have confronted him immediately, but I chose something much smarter. I stayed silent. Instead of arguing, I protected myself. I gathered every bank statement, trust document, property record, mortgage payment, tax receipt, and legal filing proving that every home belonged only to me. Month after month, I quietly added more evidence while Mason continued believing I knew nothing. Watching him live 2 separate lives hurt more than I can describe. He enjoyed the comfortable home I provided while spending his time, attention, and money on another woman. Brooke accepted vacations, gifts, and expensive dinners without ever realizing they were funded by the income my investments generated. Neither of them appreciated the years of sacrifice behind everything they enjoyed. They simply assumed they were entitled to it. As time passed, Mason developed serious heart disease. His doctors repeatedly warned him to avoid emotional stress because his heart was badly damaged. Then one evening, he suffered a massive heart attack and was rushed into intensive care. Even after surviving, he showed no gratitude for a second chance. Instead, he became obsessed with making sure Brooke inherited what he believed was his fortune. A few days later, he demanded an official reading of his final will inside his hospital room. He insisted that I attend along with my attorney, my best friend, and Brooke herself. I knew exactly what he planned to do. So I arrived carrying one small folder that contained 30 years of carefully organized legal documents. The room was filled with silence as Mason proudly declared that Brooke had been the woman who truly loved him while I supposedly cared only about work and money. Then his lawyer read the will aloud. Mason left every house, every investment, and every valuable asset to Brooke while intentionally leaving me with absolutely nothing after more than 3 decades of marriage. Brooke could barely hide her excitement. She believed she had just inherited millions of dollars. Mason looked directly at me, waiting for tears, anger, or complete heartbreak. He wanted his final victory to be watching me lose everything I had spent a lifetime building. Instead, I smiled. Very calmly, I told him there was something I had never shared during our marriage. First, I admitted that I had known about Brooke for 10 years. His face immediately changed. Then I revealed the truth that completely destroyed his confidence. None of those houses had ever belonged to him. My attorney quietly stepped forward and placed certified legal documents across the hospital table. He explained that my grandparents established the trust years before I ever met Mason. Every property had been purchased entirely with protected trust funds and my personal earnings. Every mortgage payment, tax payment, insurance bill, and repair came from my separate accounts. Mason had never contributed financially, never gained ownership, and legally possessed absolutely no claim to any of the 6 homes. The room instantly changed. Brooke's smile disappeared as she realized the fortune she expected had never existed. Mason stared at the paperwork in complete disbelief. For 32 years, he had believed he owned half of everything simply because we were married. In reality, he had spent decades living inside a life that legally belonged only to me. His breathing suddenly became fast and uneven. The heart monitor began sounding alarms as doctors rushed to his bedside. They begged him to stay calm, but the emotional shock was too much for his damaged heart. He tried to speak, but no words came out. Only seconds after learning the truth, the monitor went flat. Doctors fought to save him. But it was over. The room became completely silent. Brooke quickly tried to claim she never cared about the money, but no one believed her. My attorney informed her that Mason had no legal authority to leave her property he never owned. His will meant nothing regarding my real estate. She had spent 10 years waiting for an inheritance that never belonged to him in the first place. Without saying another word, she picked up her purse and walked out of the room, leaving behind the man she claimed to love. Within weeks, the court confirmed exactly what my paperwork had proven all along. Every house remained mine, every legal challenge failed, and every document I had carefully protected secured my future exactly as my grandparents intended. People often ask whether I regret staying silent for so many years. My answer has never changed. Staying calm does not mean you are weak. Sometimes patience is the strongest form of strength. While others react with emotion, wise people prepare for the moment when the truth speaks louder than any argument. That day, I did not celebrate my husband's death. I celebrated the fact that honesty, preparation, and years of careful planning protected everything I had built. He believed betrayal would make him victorious, but in the end, his own greed destroyed him. I walked away with my dignity, my peace, and every single thing I had earned through a lifetime of hard work. The greatest lesson I learned is simple. Never allow someone to mistake your silence for ignorance, because the quietest person in the room is often the one holding all the cards.